Okay, hi everybody. I'm going to briefly do my opener for the parties. I'm going to try to keep it to 5 minutes. We'll see. I'm long-winded, so hopefully we can make it short. Okay, so let's talk about how we got here tonight. I'm not talking about how Jamie invited you through that text or whatever. I'm talking about how we're all here tonight. I'm going to tell you a quick story about the birth of Isagenix. Okay? It all begins with a man named John and his encounter with a brown recluse spider. So John lives in the mountains of Arizona. All the creepy crawlies and scorpions and snakes and all that sort of thing. Well, he gets bit by a brown recluse spider. And as you probably know, those are pretty dangerous. They're one of the most poisonous spiders known to man. Well, he gets so sick, he ends up staying in the hospital for a really long time. His body starts shutting down. His organs are shutting down. He even goes blind in his left eye. At one point, the doctors say, there's really not much more we can do for you. We have to amputate your foot. This is going to continue spreading and just make you sicker and sicker. He was already on his deathbed, but really, there was nothing they could do. So as soon as they leave his hospital room, he says, heck no, they're not taking my foot. He rips out his IV. He starts trying to hobble off his bed. The guy is dying, and he's trying to escape the hospital. Well, he must have been making a load of racket because the medical staff comes running in to his room, and they're like, what are you doing? And he says, you're not taking my foot. There's no way that's happening. I've been in the health and wellness industry for over 30 years. If you can't figure out how to save my life, I'm going to figure out how to save my life. So he does a bunch of research. Comes across this Indian doctor, man in India, who is taking this black-like substance from the Nepal mountains, where it oozes out of the fissures of the mountains, and he takes this black substance and he purifies it. And he extracts all the minerals and vitamins and things like that. And what he learns is that this black substance has been used by the Nepalis for over 1,000 years as a detoxification agent. Kind of like an elixir of life sort of thing. And he thinks, wow, maybe this is what I've been looking for. Maybe this is my cure. And so he packs up his doctor, packs up his wife, thinks he's going to die on this trip, plans on, in fact, and goes to the mountains of Nepal to harvest this stuff and to purify it, and ends up mixing it with a bunch of other stuff and saves his life. It's pretty amazing, right? So later, I think like a year later, he's talking to this other guy, and his name's Jim. Jim and him are chatting, and they're talking about how disease-ridden this world is, and how obesity is running rampant, and disease is running rampant, and just how sick the world is today. And Jim says, John, you've been in the industry a really long time. You've worked with over 100 different companies, some of the top companies in the world. You formulated thousands and thousands of formulas. You're known as the mineral man. Has there, in all of your years, have you come across anything that is like the silver bullet, the one thing that our body really needs to be healthy, the one cure-all kind of thing? And John thinks for a second. He's like, no, I haven't, because there isn't just one thing. There's a system of things. There's a blend of different nutrients and minerals and things like that our body needs to survive and to be healthy, but there isn't just one thing. And so Jim says, well, what does that system look like? And what would that mean for world health? Could you make something like that? And, John says, you know what? Yeah, I could. Because, I already have. It saved my life. And that formula is the birth of the Cleanse for Life product for Isagenix. And that became the basis of Isagenix. Well, that story doesn't end there. There's a lot more to that story. But fast forward 15 years to Layton, Utah, where a tired and depressed, completely defeated woman is laying crumpled in her closet. bawling her eyes out because the woman that she sees in her reflection isn't a woman she recognizes. She thinks to herself, who is that girl? Who ate me? This woman is depressed. This woman is angry all the time, yells more at her kids than she does loving them. She's tired. She gets sick at every single illness that blows her way she catches. She can barely get out of bed in the morning. Who am I? You know why that sounds familiar? Because that's me. That was me 7 months ago. Before I finally picked myself up and said, enough's enough. I'm tired of being sick and tired. I started Isagenix. And sure, I've lost 50 pounds, but it's not even about the pounds. It's about the fact that I feel amazing. When my kids say, Mom, will you play with us? I can do 20 rounds of Ring Around the Rosie and chase them up and down the slides at the park. And we laugh and we play, and I'm no longer yelling at them all day. I have a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 6-month-old. Life is crazy, but I finally have the energy to handle it. I don't wonder. I see myself again in the mirror. It's been absolutely amazing. My husband said to me within just a few days of taking the products, "Oh, that's my Bonnie. There's the wife I married. There's my girl." Everyone started noticing differences in me within a few days. I started noticing a huge difference almost immediately. Absolutely amazing. But you know what? The story doesn't stop there. The story goes on a few months later to my best friend Brianna, who also signed up, to my other friend Jamie, to my mom, to a bunch of different people. And the story doesn't stop there, or at least it doesn't have to. It could continue with you, and with you, and maybe even you. Where does that story go? It's already touched millions of lives for the better. It's already helped transform so many people, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually blessed so many people's lives. Who in this room tonight is it going to bless? Let's talk about some of these pretty amazing products. You ready? I thought so. And that is the opener. So I'm sure there's lots of room for improvement there. I sort of rambled and, took some long pauses, but you get the gist of it. I hope that was helpful. Bye.